Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to tell you guys about a couple of TV series and shows that you can watch as a Spanish beginner, or if you just want to improve your Spanish skills. So if you want to know it, then just stay tuned. Alright, first things first, before getting into this video, I want to tell you guys about iTalki. I'm sure you've already heard about iTalki here on my channel. What is iTalki? It's an online platform where you can learn any language you like, any language, with native teachers. That means you can schedule your language lessons the way you want them to be. You can learn from the comfort of your home. You can learn anywhere where you are in the world, like literally anywhere, and with any teacher you'd like and you choose. So you customize your own lessons, how you'd like them to be and when you want to have them. And also you can customize your lessons according to what you would like to learn. So anything you like, you can focus on italki.com with the teachers. And the best thing is, if you click the link down below with my code, you get $10 off your first iTalki lesson. Ahora vamos a comenzar este video because I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys what to watch to improve your Spanish skills. So these shows are not only for beginners but only for people who want to improve the Spanish skills. The first one is actually not really a show. It's a YouTube channel. It's a BuzzFeed YouTube channel and it's called Faderbike. I love this YouTube channel Faderbike because you have a bunch of different Latinos coming together. There's actually a lot of Spanglish in there. Obviously they're living in the US, so there's a lot of American culture in there too. But if you're like starting up with Spanish, this really helps to get an understanding and also to recognize different accents because they're Latinos from all over, so it's not only one type, but in this one specifically there's a lot of Dominicans, there's a lot of Colombians, there are Cubans, so you can get used to the different accents of Spanish. Alright, another thing you can watch on YouTube is also La Voz. La Voz is like The Voice basically. I think in any country they have this TV show, The Voice. So basically you can watch it in Spanish to train your ears to the Spanish language and learn some new vocabulary. You can watch like The Voice Mexico, The Voice like Spain, like all those types of different versions of The Voice. I think that's a good way also to acquire more vocabulary and learn more Spanish. So I'm going to tell you guys also about telenovelas. Obviously, if I'm speaking about Spanish TV shows or series, I can't leave out like telenovelas, which are like huge in Latin America. This first one actually is a telenovela from Brazil, so it's not a Spanish speaking one in its original form, but there's a Spanish version of it, which is called Avenida Brasil, and in Portuguese it would be Avenida Brasil. You might have heard me talking about this one. This is the first show, like telenovela, I started watching when I was learning Portuguese. It's actually translated into Spanish, so you can also watch it in Spanish, Mexican Spanish. Like, this is the best telenovela I've ever watched. The storyline is so intriguing. I put my sister on it. My sister speaks Spanish too, but she also like needed to improve her Spanish, so she asked me for like Spanish speaking TV shows and series, and I recommended Avenida Brasil, and she like loved it because the Spanish on there is not really fast. It's Mexican type Spanish, so they speak rather slow compared to other types of Spanish, and you really get to understand more like that. So I definitely recommend you guys to look on YouTube for Avenida Brasil, another very famous Mexican telenovela, and also Colombian one, I think. Yeah, I think in its original form it was Colombian. There's also a Mexican version of it, and there's also non-Spanish versions of it, like there was a version even in Germany, and I think in English too. It's called Betty la Fea. Yo soy Betty la Fea. I know it's like huge. It's like one of the holy grail telenovelas from Latin America. You get used to the Mexican accent and also acquire the Mexican conversational way of speaking. Another telenovela that I actually used to watch a lot is Rebelde. Rebelde is like this Mexican telenovela. It was originally from Mexico, but then they also did an Argentinian version of it. I used to watch both. That was like years ago, like 10-11 years ago. It's like this teen series telenovela, but it's good. Like if you want to learn and start up with like an easy Spanish, you can definitely watch Rebelde. The Mexican version is called Rebelde and the Argentinian version is called Rebelde Way. Alright, so now I'm gonna come to a couple of Netflix series that you can watch. So the first one is, of course, La Casa de Papel. La Casa de Papel is a Spanish Netflix series. and it's about those criminals trying to break in somewhere, like this huge operation thing. I haven't actually watched it, but I've heard like only like good things about it. This one is really good if you want to advance your Spanish. I'm not sure if it's really for beginners because it has a lot of fast speech in it. Obviously it's like a thriller kind of thing, so they're talking about more complicated things. But if you want to check it out, then definitely check it out first and see if you like get along, if you understand. And the good thing about Netflix is that you can choose your subtitles, and don't get discouraged if you don't understand it right away. Just repeat episode after episode and watch the same episodes over and over again. It's even better if you watch it in your language first, like the Casa de Papel is also in English. It's called like The Heist or something. So you can even watch like an episode, for example, in English first, and then you get like the gist, you get the storyline, the plot of everything. And then after you've watched the episode in English, you just watch it in Spanish, and like that it will be way easier to understand and also connect the situations to the language. Another Spanish series on Netflix is Las Chicas del Cable. This plays out in the 1920s, where like 4 women are working like for this telecommunication company, and like it shows their lives, how their lives change like and then in this time. I've not watched it to be honest, but I think it's also a good way to learn, and of course have a different kind of accent. This is a European Spanish, and you also have of course Colombian and Mexican, Peruvian, and loads of other different kinds of movies and series. But when you're starting out, it's easier to just focus on one type of accent. I'm in Europe and I'm closer to Spain, so of course here in Europe we're gonna learn the European Spanish, but I think in the US you have more of a Latin influence. You learn more like Mexican, like Dominican, those versions of Spanish. So those were the series and TV shows. I'll definitely keep you updated if I have like more that I'll watch, but currently I'm not like really watching anything. But if I will, then I'll definitely let you guys know, so you can like follow up and keep continuing to learn. And also, if you want to learn Spanish firsthand in a country where Spanish is spoken, you can travel with me this summer exclusively to Cuba. I'm organizing a language learning trip with you guys. It includes daily language lessons, exploring Cuba, culture, food, traveling, and also workshops on how to learn. This immersive trip will take place from the 20th of July until the 3rd of August. So if you're free this summer, then definitely join me on a trip to Cuba. Alright, and if you guys have like series or TV shows that you know of and you really like, then please recommend them like for any other viewer in the comment box below. And because I like to create like this community where we help each other out, I will try and leave the links down below for the shows that I've recommended, and I'll see you guys then in my next video. Bye.